goes back to like people just like attacking Jake Paul and like wanting to see me fail for literally like nothing. Like they're suing me for something I.
Hello? Jesus.
So Jake Paul's entire world collapsed after what happened. Just when you thought Jake Paul couldn't stir up any more controversy, a recent leak scandal has thrown a major wrench into his career, and this time, it's not just bad PR. Word on the street is that Jake might actually end up behind bars because of the lawsuits coming his way. Yup, you heard that right. This is way more serious than a beef or trash talk before a fight. Jake has always been a polarizing personality, but this might just be the final nail in the coffin. What was brewing behind the scenes for his upcoming fight with Mike Tyson proves that Jake isn't ready to be a real athlete. Instead of focusing on training and proving himself, he was relying on some seriously dirty tactics. And guess what? We've got leaked voicemails, footage, and major documents, the whole 9 yards, all of it pointing to Jake fixing the fight. You're not going to believe the lengths Jake and his team went to. And we've got the exclusive right here for you. This scandal has thrown not only Jake's fight with Iron Mike into chaos, but has jeopardized his entire career. Jake Paul's entire world has been shaken to its core, and you can bet he's sweating bullets right now. I mean, just picture it. Jake, the guy who's always seemed so cocky and confident, suddenly caught in the middle of this massive scandal. He's used to controlling the narrative, posting flashy training videos, hyping up his fights, and trolling his opponents on social media. But now, he's in panic mode. Imagine this. Jake Paul and his team, locked behind closed doors, secretly negotiating a rigged outcome for the fight against Mike Tyson. Yeah, you heard that right. A fixed fight. According to leaked documents, insider testimonies, and some next-level shady stuff, Jake wasn't about to leave anything to chance. Whether he was going to take the win or just make the match look like a competitive showdown, the fight was never meant to be legit. It was all staged from the jump. Wild, right? It's out. Jake's been selling wolf tickets all this time.
Fair enough. But the man is a fake, okay? Do not buy the wolf tickets.
They're selling y'all wolf tickets, people. You're eating them right up.
Do not accept the bullshit.
Now, before you say, nah, that sounds like a conspiracy theory, let's be clear. This isn't some fan fiction. Word on the street is that Jake and his crew wanted to make sure his knockout artist persona stayed intact. I mean, let's face it, losing to Mike Tyson, that's not just a little L. That's a career-ending knockout. So instead of taking that risk, they decided to rig the fight to make sure Jake either looked good or flat out won, even if it was all smoke and mirrors. But here's where it gets even crazier. There's actual evidence. Yup, leaked documents, video footage, and voicemails show that key people in Jake's camp were in on this whole setup. And once that stuff leaked, it was game over. The internet blew up and Jake's world started to collapse faster than anyone could have predicted.
We got a YouTuber fighting the greatest fighter that ever lived.
Jake, every time these fighters sit across from me and it's YouTuber, it's Disney Channel, all that shit, and then you end up on the canvas and you'll see, it's gonna be no different here, I promise you that.
Jake Paul's journey from Disney star to YouTube sensation to boxing powerhouse has been nothing short of a roller coaster. When Jake first stepped into the ring, nobody took him seriously. But with each fight, he started to turn heads. First, it was YouTubers, then MMA legends like Ben Askren and Tyron Woodley, and finally, the epic bout with Anderson Silva. Jake was on fire. Sure, there were doubters, but each win silenced more of them. He was making millions from pay-per-view, and even his harshest critics had to admit he was doing something right. But as Jake's star rose, so did the stakes. He was gearing up for what could have been the fight of his life. A face-off with none other than boxing legend Mike Tyson. The hype was real. The fight was set to break records. Fans were counting down the days. But little did they know there was something shady going on behind the scenes. The problem child was all set to step into the ring with Iron Mike Tyson on November 15th, 2024 at the AT&T Arena for what was hyped as the biggest fight of the year. Seriously, the buzz around this fight was insane. The boxing world, social media, and even mainstream sports outlets couldn't stop talking about it. This wasn't just any fight. This was Jake's first real showdown against a seasoned pro. And not just any pro, but Mike freaking Tyson. one of the most feared boxers in history. You had everyone, from casual fans to die-hard boxing purists, ready to tune in. And get this, Netflix was even on board to document the whole thing with a behind-the-scenes series. The hype was real. This was shaping up to be the event of the year, no doubt. Jake had been building his influencer boxer persona for a while, stacking up wins against other influencers, retired athletes, and even some MMA guys.
You know what bothers me?
What bothers
and this
you?
always bothers me, but like obviously, like any time we do something victoriously, I think people are gonna try to discredit us. And people are still saying the same thing, like, well, he hasn't fought a real boxer yet.
But stepping into the ring with Iron Mike, that's a whole different ballgame. This was the moment everyone was waiting for. Was Jake Paul legit? Or was it all just a carefully crafted PR stunt? Well, Jake wasn't about to take any chances. He knew that a loss to Tyson would be catastrophic for his brand, his image, and his so-called legacy as a fighter. But instead of putting in the blood, sweat, and tears in the gym, like every real boxer does when preparing for a career-defining fight, Jake decided to take a shortcut. Yep, you heard me. Instead of focusing on improving his skills, mastering his footwork, and building the stamina needed to go toe-to-toe with Tyson, Jake and his team went straight to dirty tactics. Forget grinding it out in the gym. Jake wanted to make sure the fight played out in his favor, no matter what. Now, this isn't the first time Jake's been accused of rigging his fights. This is an accusation he's been facing since his first fight in the ring. The YouTuber-turned-boxer has had to come clean many times, and even his brother, Logan Paul, had to clear his name out for him.
I'm gonna get a little aggressive here. If you think that that fight in any way was dishonest, you're a fucking loser. And I mean that at the bottom of my heart. I want you to go home, look at yourself in the mirror, and ask yourself the following question. What do I lack? What do I lack in my life that forces me to go and discredit a kid who I know is working his ass off? You know how hard my brother worked.
Jake's been building this whole influencer boxer empire, and with this scandal, it might all come crashing down. The boxing world, which was already skeptical of Jake, is roasting him harder than ever. From pro boxers to analysts to YouTubers, everyone is calling him out. The whispers about his lack of skill and rigged fights are now full-blown screams. And Jake's entire career? Yeah, it's in serious jeopardy. His fight with Mike Tyson is on the verge of being canceled. And with that, everything Jake has built in the influencer boxing world could go up in smoke. Now imagine being one of Jake's diehard fans, someone who's been rooting for him and thinking he was the real deal. This news has got to feel like a total betrayal. People are legit furious. Fans are dragging him all over social media, unsubscribing from his channels and calling him out for being a fraud. Jake wanted to be seen as a real athlete, but now he's looking more like a dude who's just been playing pretend in a sport that requires real dedication, training, and guts.
Fight, so it's gotta be rigged. No way he would do this. This is impossible that Jake beat this. It's like, no.
But wait, it doesn't end there. The fallout isn't just social media roasting and angry fans. We're talking serious legal trouble. If this fight was rigged, and all the evidence suggests it was, then Jake could be facing major lawsuits and fines. And if there's betting involved, oh boy, sports regulators don't play when it comes to that. This could even lead to jail time if it's proven that Jake was tampering with a fight. Yeah, you heard me. Jake Paul might end up behind bars if this scandal keeps escalating. And let's talk money. Jake's entire brand isn't just built on boxing. It's built on sponsorships, partnerships, and deals that bring in millions. But when a scandal like this blows up, brands start jumping ship. No one wants to be associated with a fighter who rigs his matches. So his sponsorships, they're probably already getting pulled. That's millions of dollars gone just like that. Jake Paul's situation might not be exactly the same, but the point is, the consequences for trying to rig a fight are no joke.
God, it's just the most bullshit thing. And I literally had to pay them a lot of money for no reason.
Jake thought he could treat this like another one of his influencer fights. But this is the big leagues. Mike Tyson's a legend with a legacy to protect. And he's not letting Jake ruin that with some shady backdoor deals. Tyson's going to fight this in court just as hard as he would in the ring. And with the evidence piling up, Jake's looking at a potential legal disaster. Whether it's through lawsuits, a lifetime ban from boxing, or even prison time, Jake's world is crumbling fast. And with Mike Tyson leading the charge, this fight is far from over. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see how everything plays out. So there you have it, Fight World. That's all I have for you today. What are your thoughts on this recent scandal? Make sure to fill the comment section with your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more boxing news. See you in the next video.